Shalom Israel. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Hall, New York. Here with the Hebrew class. All right. Here with the Hebrew class. Today we'll be going over our letters. Get deep into the letters. You understand? Don't forget. Start with our Lashawan Kodash. And actually today, since we got a good amount of students watching, we're going to go over some scriptures as well in the Hebrew. We're going to get a couple scriptures in the Hebrew and do some, we may do some connected dots with letters or with words to make sentences. So we may do some sentences as well. Let's just start with the Hebrew though. Syrian, the ancient Hebrew. Ancient Hebrew. Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, and tha. All right. This is your ancient Hebrew. Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, cha, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, tha. Looks like we got students here. Go get that door. Yeah, we just moved out of schools, out of the old building, so this one we still putting it all together. The main classroom is going to be in another spot. This is just a temporary class for now. If you two could sign in, and I need to check your temperatures. Check yours. Good, 98. You can sign in. Check your temperatures. Good to go. Got the temperatures. If you need the sanitizer here, we got extra masks over here too. If you brothers need a mask, some water's right there as well. You just have your seat.
Yeah, bathroom.
Yep.
Hey, what's the date of today? 16th?
Whew, man, I thought it was the 19th. What's the check?
I think.
Oh, it's the 16th. It's the 16th.
My son, he just bought me one of the Hebrew Bibles. I think it's called the Scriptures.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he just bought me one. I just visited him when I was up in Atlanta. And we was just walking the earth up there.
What's that in Christ? What's that in Christ?
He just kind of inspired me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I grew up, in Christianity, and my father was always a person of, by the word. You know what I'm saying? And it came to the point where, he kind of circumstanced that, went into the world and whatnot, and I still had the word, and God was just like, he was my foundation, what I'm saying? It showed me, the miracles, and like, it was not only spiritual, but he would physically do things, manifest things, you know what I'm saying? And it came to the point when I was in church, I was just like, something about this ain't right. I was like, God, give me the truth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I was the same way, I already know.
Then,
in that church.
Yeah, and I went from that, you know what I'm saying, to, I met some brothers, from Southside Chicago, you know what I mean? And they was talking about the knowledge self, you know what I mean? I learned a lot when I asked God for the truth. Sometimes I felt like I couldn't even talk to people about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About the truth that, you know what I'm saying, that I was, holding on to. I ain't gonna interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's cool. I'm just listening. Yeah, man, same here.
Yeah.
Same here. I'm not there going to tell. What I did is when I learned the truth that we as Israelites, I went back to the church, not to go for real, but to go see. Like, what was I lost at, or like what's going on there? Went back to the old church I used to go to when I was in the world, and I said, man, ain't nothing but it was about 90% women, and they wasn't breaking down those scriptures. I went to the pastor after church and told him, look, we the Israelites. Let me Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's good. Yeah, we are the Israelites. And then like the next service, I went again, and he was like, yeah, we're the Israelites. He said it every once in a while. But he's looking towards me, but I could tell he was just saying it because I was.
Why? To feed you.
Yeah, to try to, he's cool. Said Israelites. Well, back to whatever other.
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to free.
He wasn't really worried about
everybody.
He wasn't really caring about no Israelites or Christ being black or none of that. That wasn't no deal to him. I could tell he was just saying it to, like you said, appease me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I already see. So like your brother said, man, my name is Captain Kapash. Today is the Hebrew class, so we go over the ancient Hebrew and the Assyrian Hebrew. If you were to get like your phone apps, you can get the Hebrew to Assyrian. It wouldn't look like this; it'd be the other form, which is the newer form when we went in captivity. All right. So far, I'm in front of the camera. We got Ba, and also we're live streaming too. Okay. So it's on YouTube too. Yeah, it's on YouTube live right now. So we got Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Cha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Da. Okay. So today being y'all first day, I'm gonna go ahead and start all the way from the beginning. Okay. So this is the beginning. This is the letters but I'm gonna go over some beginner words. Yeah, I mean that you may hear brothers say. You understand? So we'll break some of them down. Okay. One of the first words you may hear is con. Con. All right. That means yes or I agree. It means yes or I agree. You understand? Like, I concur. All of that. That's what con means. All right. Now, in every language, one another thing you're gonna learn after yes is no. La no. I disagree. Disagree. La It means no, or I do not. I disagree. And la Okay. Another one you may hear in Israelite culture. Israelite culture is very polite. All right, it's very polite, Israelite culture. So you will hear this a lot, the water, which means thank you. And hear this a lot, thank you. Okay. Israelite culture is like I said, it's very polite. You know, it's very respectful to the men above you in the rank. So, like for example, King David. When King David, even when he found Saul, he still didn't even kill him. You know what I mean? He just cut his garments and said, look, I even though you've tried to kill me, you're the king, and I could never put my hand on the Lord's anointed. So Israelite culture has always been a very respectful culture. You understand? When it's in the truth, you know, obviously you got wicked Israelites, they're going to be the exact opposite. But you go to the Israelites that had the truth, they are very polite, and you may hear this a lot too. Salakia, which means excuse me or pardon me. Excuse me or pardon me. You hear that a lot. So brothers may be talking, and a brother might want to interject and say, Salakia, if I could, and interject. Okay? Salakia. And in the scriptures it said, let one man prophesy one after another. So in Israelite culture, in the truth, in the Israelite School of UPK, brothers don't talk over each other much. It may happen every once in a while, but for the most part, brothers make sure to never talk over each other. All right, so you may hear brothers say Salakia. Okay. After that is Yundabar. A Yundabar, which means literally it means no, like no, don't mention it. That's what it literally means. Dabar means word or speak, and Ayan is like don't mention it. You know what I mean? Like don't speak it. You know what I mean? So you may hear a brother say, "Oh, no sweat," and that's come from the Hebrew Ayandabar, which would be considered after Tawada. You may say Ayandabar, like you're welcome. And, you know, if you want to go right to English, you're welcome. Or don't mention it. Don't mention it. Don't mention it. You're welcome, or don't mention it. No sweat. Don't speak it. Don't say less. That's what it is. Say less. All right, say less. Okay. Now here's another big one you may hear. Khan. Adawan Khan. 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 Which basically means, sir, yes, sir. That's basically what it means, which when you flip it into English, it means, sir, yes, sir. I mean, Adawan means master, teacher. So that's you hear a lot out of wine. Okay. Con out of one con. All right, there you go. Let's get up a little basic ones. Obviously, you probably heard this before. Shalom. Not to be confused with Shalom. All right. There's been a confusion on Shalom. All right. It's not Shalom. It's pronounced Shalom. The W is silent. A lot of people try to pronounce the W like Shalom. The W is there, and when you spell it, but it's silent. It's silent. So you don't say the Y. It's a silent W. It's always been since 1969. Later Israelite groups brought out and started saying Shalom. But it's always been Shalom. Shalom. But that W is silent. Shalom.
Which means peace, right?
Means peace. Also used as like hello. But literally means peace. But it's used as you heard the saying, "Oh, I come in peace."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when you come somebody you ain't never met them before, you say Shalom, which is basically saying I come in peace. That's basically what it's saying in Israelite culture. You know what I mean? It's not really hello. You know what I mean? But it's used as hello. Basically a greeting.
Mm-hmm.
A greeting that says you come in peace. You don't come for war, you ain't come for beef, you ain't coming for, whatever money you owe me, you ain't coming for that. You say I'm coming in peace. Don't sweat that. Shalom. Okay. These are the main words. Two more. Ak. Ak means brother. Ak. Shalom, Ak. Ak is brother. Okay. And Akwath is sister. Make sure I'm not in front of the camera. If everybody see online, yeah. Camera. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Akwath is sister. Okay. So these are some of the most basic terms that you would you guys got it? Right? These are some of the most basic terms you'll see. Do you brothers know about the Passover?
Yeah, I heard about it. I think it's in
Passover is next week in Houston, Texas.
Texas.
It's in Houston, Texas. Passover is always in one place that the Lord decides every year. It's usually in Harlem, New York, but because of the pandemic, it's in Houston this year. You brothers probably wouldn't be able to make it on such short notice, but definitely for next year. But next week the classes will be only online.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you would have to make sure you get some of the online information because brother's going to be out of town for the Passover.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Everybody goes. You know what I'm saying? So
what part of you said Houston?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be at this place called the B&H Ranch on some Player Street. So it's somewhere out there on the ranch. That's where we're going to be this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away in.
Yeah. So it's going to be it's April 24th. So it's next Sunday or next Saturday. But brothers leave obviously before that day.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are only, if you want to come to class next week,
Mm-hmm.
we ain't going to have physical class. It's only going to be online.
Okay.
All right. So it's on. You guys got the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What was it called?
It's called ISUPK Online Classes. That's the main channel, ISUPK Online Classes. You know, if you can subscribe to it, you know, on YouTube, if you subscribe to it, then they'll, you know, you'll get notifications.
Is this one?
Yeah, IUPK online classes. Subscribe, ring the bell, so you get the notifications and everything like
My
that.
phone is down, so
I
I had to follow him over here.
Cool. So y'all knew each other already?
No, we was out there talking.
Oh,
you at the old
It
school.
was the way, like, I speak like how my son speaks, like how y'all put it together. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, my heart was there. You know what I mean? And I went there, and then he was there. You know what I mean? I was about to bounce. And then he came around, and I started talking to him, and he said that he got in touch with somebody in Chicago. You know, he came 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, from somewhere. You know what I mean? And I was just like, okay, I'm going to sit, you know, and wait. You know, and I said, well, you know, maybe give him a call or something, and then come to find out, you know what I'm saying, we in the wrong spot.
Yeah, that's the old school. We just left that building about 2 months
I was
ago.
like, man, I know brothers seem disciplined. I wouldn't have us wait out here for no 2 hours or 1 hour or something like that.
Yeah, no sweat. That was definitely the Lord.
Yeah, so we here.
That was definitely the Lord.
Yeah, we here.
So you live in
I
Indianapolis?
live here.
And then you say you 2 hours away.
Yeah, Elkhart.
Elkhart?
Yeah, but I'm from Gary.
Okay, Elkhart. That's up there, up north?
Yeah, that's way up.
Okay. What's that in Christ? You by Kokomo?
Kokomo. I ain't hear of it. I might be. I ain't heard of Kokomo.
No sweat. All right. So let's get some more of these terms. You won't hear this much, but Kahan means priest in the Hebrew. Kahan. You won't hear it much, like it just talking or seeing brothers talking to each other, but Kahan means priest. I see you in all black. Is that on purpose or is this just how you dress?
No, I heard of it.
It's
kind of on purpose too on my job too.
Okay.
Yeah, all black.
You know, we got the trooper programs for brothers, you know, we're all black. They want to be a trooper.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes, you know, obviously they got work, we're all black for 90 days. All right. So now these are some of we went over some of the main words. Now let's go over the salute. Okay. We're gonna go over the salute. We're gonna go over the old salute, the ancient salute, which was what they used to say before Christ, and then we're gonna go over the salute that we say after Christ. All right. You might have heard this, you might not. This one I'm gonna have y'all memorize these ones, or at least attempt to. This right here is the Israelite credo. Back in the day, before Christ, because you had Israelites living in different towns and villages and things like that. If Israelite, because back in the day, Israelites didn't have hotels, a lot of hotels like that. You would stay with another Israelite. Every Israelite always had like a guest house or a guest room. So, because that was in the law. So, if you would go to a brother, you would say this Israelite credo, and that lets you know that they follow the Most High also. Because as you know, you had Israelites who didn't follow the Most High. You had Israelites who followed false gods. So if you go to an Israelite and you say this credo, which is Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Akkad, and they say it back, that means they believe in Moses and the Father and our forefathers. They believe in that. If they don't, they say, nah, I ain't into all that. Or, you know, they say something by all or something like that. Then you know, all right, this Israelite don't follow the Most High, which is happened a lot. You see a lot of Israelites who didn't follow the Most High. All right. So it goes like this. Shema. Shalom. Yahweh. Now, Yahweh of God. Shema Yashala Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Now, we'll break this down. So this was basically the salute before Christ, which I can tell you what it means. It means, "Hear, O Israel, Lord our God is one." You understand? Because back then everybody had multiple gods. Oh, we got look at the Egyptians, the Assyrians, Babylonians. Oh, we got a god of the sun. You know, you pissed off the god of the grass. You pissed off the god of the water. You gotta appease the god of the moon. So you ain't appeased that god. That's how it was back then. It was only Israelites who believed in one God. We was the main ones. If you read about the Muslims and Muhammad seen how the Arabs had multiple gods, but the Israelites had one God. So he changed it, the Muslim beliefs to make them believe in one, like Israel did. Okay, so this is Shema, which means hear. O Israel, this right here is Israel, Yasha Allah. Israel means prince of the power. Prince of the power. The power is the most high. Prince means you like the son of the power, son of God. That's what it literally means in the Hebrew, prince of the power. Yahweh is the name of the Most High. It's a very sacred name. You don't say that name often. You don't say it for no reason. You don't put it on T-shirts, put it on your rims, and nothing like that. I know you got other people out there. They may try to learn the Lord's name and throw His name on a car or something like that. You don't do that with the Lord's name. You got to put a lot of respect on the Lord's name, so you don't just say it and you write it and use it willy-nilly. All right. This right here is our power. Okay, that's one. All right. So when you're writing it, it's not gonna always line up. Okay, because between Hebrew and English, Hebrew doesn't have a lot of these filler words like does. Don't have a lot of does. Hebrew is like how the Gadites used to speak. They used to say, "Oh, white man bring much pain," or "Come river two crosses," or something like that. When they say it real, it'll be real blank. So this is literally saying in Hebrew, "Listen, Israel, Lord, our power, Lord one." So that's what it's literally saying. Listen, Israel, or hear Israel, Lord, our power, Lord one. But when you translate that to English, it's hear or listen, O Israel, the Lord, our power is one, or is one Lord. All right, is one Lord. So it doesn't match up exactly. Hebrew don't match up exactly with English. Like you had the Hebrew sentence, and you put the English right underneath it, it won't match up word from word. You understand? Because it ain't no the in the Hebrew. A lot of times there ain't no is. You understand? It's just, man talks loud. Because, Hebrew is the first language. So it don't have a lot of fillers. 10 sheep, me. 10 sheep, me. You know what I mean? 10 sheep with me. Or something like, it's more like that. You know what I mean? Where it's not all the fillers like English. All right, but when we go into other scriptures, you'll still come out a lot. Like, oh damn, they ain't even got no the, they ain't even got no is, they ain't got no are. You know what I mean? It's just saying people black or God angry. You see what I'm saying? It'll be like that. So let's hear you say. Go ahead, let's hear you give it a try. The Israelite credo.
Shemai Yasharala Yahweh Yeah. And then the other one is Alahawa Nawa.
Alahawa now.
Alahawa Nawa. Yahweh. And what is it?
Akkad.
Akkad.
Akkad is one. Number one.
Okay.
Go ahead, give it a shot.
Jesus. Shami.
Shemai.
Shemai. Yashahala. Yahweh. Akahawana.
Alahaya Nawa.
Alahayanawa. Yahweh. Aqua.
Akkad.
Akkad.
Akkad. Yep. So it'll be Shemai, Yahweh, Yahweh, Alahaya Nawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Yeah, man. So yeah, you praise that. It's a good thing to know just off the strength because it's just the old salute. It's an old salute. We don't say this no more. We may hear it every once in a while, but our everyday salute is different now. All right. So let's get that. That's Israelite Credo. Now we're gonna go over the salute. Salute. And the salute is different than the Israelite Credo because of one man, because of Christ. You know what I'm saying? So because of him, it got changed up the way we speak to one another. So, that's no problem. All right. Shalom. Yahweh. Bahashem. Yahweh. Barak. Atha. Make sure I'm on the internet, I ain't blocking the words too much. And it may be a phone. So. This little S right here, little P right here. This means it's singular. S means singular for one person. This is plural if you salute multiple. Okay. So this is peace, Lord, and the name Jesus. Bless you or you all. So this is Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Okay, Shalom is peace. Yahweh is the Lord. Ba Hashem. Ba is in. Ha is the. Shem is name. Ba Hashem. Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Which means Jesus Christ. Black man named Jesus Christ. Bless you or bless you all. If you're speaking to multiple, if you're saluting like 5 brothers or something. Okay. So Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. And as you learn more in the Hebrew, a lot of the Hebrew is like this. Okay. It has what's called prefixes and suffixes or whatnot. So these two, you learn that later though. Just give me a little advance. It's a prefix. This is a root word. Root word is sham. All right. So yeah. Just a side note. So let's say if you were to just take this off and have just sham, if you put sham nawa, that means our name. But don't even worry about that. That's going ahead. So let's learn this first. Say it with me. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Atah.
Atah.
All right. That's the salute for the brothers. This is the salute for brothers, blessing the brothers. Okay. So this is what you want to study, because when the brothers are around each other, you hear brothers say that. They'll come in and say that. Yahweh Hashem Shabbat. Yahweh Hashem Shabbat. They'll say it back and forth. Let me move this camera because I keep standing in front of me. All right. So let me hear you give it a shot.
You say Yahweh. How is it? Which one?
You start from here. Shalom.
Okay. Shalom. Yahweh. Bahashem. Yahweh Shi.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai. Barak. Atem.
Atah.
Atah.
Atam is for multiple.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yahweh Shai. Barak. Atem. Atah. I keep saying Atem.
And remember, there's no E sound in Hebrew.
Okay.
There's no E. You know what I mean? Like how the fake Jews, they say what's the bar mitzvah and mazel tov and all these other things like that. There's no E sound. There's no. It's never going to be E. Yahweh Shi. There's no E. It's always I. Yahweh Shai. That letter is an I, and it's pronounced I. Yahweh Shai. All right, go ahead, give it a shot.
Shalom, Yahweh.
No, Shalom.
Oh.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Remember that W is silent in Shalom.
Okay. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Brakatham.
Yeah, that's blessing multiple brothers. Okay. So you're going to learn this right here. This is the salute. Same way it was taught since 1969. Like I said, but some people done changed it, made it, and they think there's a Y in there. So they say Shalom. In Hebrew, it's just a shalom. You know what I mean? Shalom. All right. So now, this for the brothers. This is the salute for men. Now, if you're going to salute sisters, let's do a sister salute. And this is what sisters salute back. So sisters won't say the male salute. They'll only say the woman salute. But you'll say both. You'll salute a sister with the sister salute. But a sister salute a man with the sister salute. So she'll never say the male salute. And she may say it, but that's not just maybe because she learned it. But she will protocol, she'll say the woman salute. All right. Shalom. Check my yeah, I was wrong. I thought I should have shot. Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, I'll, Shai. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Alatha, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Peace. Lord, watch over you. And this is the singular, said a plural one, which would mean multiple. You all in the name of Jesus. Don't mind that noise, that's just the dog. Secure dog. So once again, like I was telling you earlier, this Hebrew doesn't have a lot of the fillers. So this literally means peace, Lord, watch over you in the name Jesus, or in the name Yahushua. But in the English, you say peace, may the Lord watch over you in the name of Jesus. So it'll be of here, and it say peace, and it say may the Lord watch over you in the name of Jesus. But in Hebrew, don't have them fillers. Yeah, man, don't have them fillers. So this is Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Alatha. Let me circle so I don't get confusing. Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Alatha, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
Shalom,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yahweh. Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Al Athan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, there we go. So when there's multiple sisters, you say a thun. When it's just one, you say a tha.
Okay.
Shalom, Yahweh, Shema, Il,
Al.
Adon, Ba'ashem Yahweh.
Perfect. And when what's your name again, brother?
Aaron.
J. Sean.
All right, most of Christ. So so this is a sister salute. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Alatha, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. This word Shamar we use a lot. Shamar is watch, or it means guard or secure. You know what I mean? So obviously, we'll use that word a lot. Shamar, it means guard, watch. Then we see Bahashem again, which is in the name, and Yahweh Shai. All right. Got it down and erase it.
And you said the first one was the brother salute.
Yeah, the first one is how you salute other brothers. That's the first one you're probably going to really learn. Like the first Hebrew words or sentence, you're going to really learn because that's what you talk. That's how we talk to the brothers as soon as you see him. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Some brothers say it so damn fast. You go to New York, brothers in New York saying it so damn fast. You hear it's thug. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And they we're saying it fast. Some brothers talk faster than others. But that's what they're saying. Shalom, Yahweh Shemi Asharakatah. And what brothers don't know is that's also, when you say that to a brother, that's also a salute and a greeting, but that's also a prayer. You're also praying for that brother. Like I said with the sisters, it said, may the Lord watch over you, sisters. The other one is, may the Lord bless you. So, like I said, Israelite culture is very polite. All right. So, those are the salutes in the credos. The first one was what we would say before Christ. You know what I'm saying? In the Old Testament, you meet another Israelite, say Shema Yashala Yahweh Alhainawa Yahweh Khan. He said back. In the proof, we know that also. If you want to know worldly proof, is when you read in Christopher Columbus's diaries about when he came over here to the Americas. He said that's how the Native Indians greeted him with the salute. Shema Yashala Yahweh Alhainawa Yahweh Khan.
Yeah, I was when I was.
Raise your fist if you want to go ahead.
When the way that it was sounding, it sounded like native, you know what I'm saying, Americans or whatnot, how they speak.
Yeah, because their languages are close to the Hebrew, but what they speaking now is off of Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? Because of over time and over mixture of the language, it shift the way it sounds, the way it changed. That's just how languages is. When they speak in English 400 years ago, they don't sound like us. You know what I'm saying? They say these and thous, and thou art scrupulous or something. They say a bunch of words that we don't say today. Right. That's just English. So let alone that's 400 years. Let alone 4,000, 2,000 years. The language just switched up all the way to where now they don't sound like Hebrew. But some of the Hebrew they would say, when they do their, if you ever seen Native Indians do their powwows, they bang on the drums, and say, a brother did a class, Officer DeBar Moff out in Oregon. He did a class in a little lecture on breaking down the different, what they be saying during those powwows, and how they're saying the Lord's name. You saying Yahweh, Yahweh. They be saying different words in Hebrew. But those are the songs that's passed down. Yeah. That's not the actual how they talking every day. The songs stay the same. Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you can hear the song. It got the same sounds as the ancient Hebrew. So, and then another more proof on that is Captain Khazar in New York. He did a lecture. It's on YouTube now. Man, I was there, about a 4-hour lecture on all the proof that the northern tribes, or the Native Indians and the Hispanics, are Israelites. All the different stones with the commandments on it, the Las Lunas stone, the Azteca stone, all these different tablets that the Native Indians had that had Hebrew and had the commandments on them. You know what I mean? Which shows the link that those are the people. These are the same people. We're the ones who suffered them curses in Deuteronomy. So we're the Israelites. I don't know how familiar you brothers are with that, but basically in Deuteronomy chapter 28, it has all the curses to know where the Israelites are. Deuteronomy chapter 28. You started the whole chapter. It says we go into slavery, we'll serve another nation. Our children will go into captivity. We would have an evil eye towards our brother. Nation to come against us, as swift as the eagle flieth. You know that eagle represents the oppressor. It got a whole bunch of curses. It even say about we go into slavery with ships. And if you know the history, the Native Indians were the first on the slave ships. You know what I mean? Because Christopher Columbus and them and conquistadors, they took Native Indians from their home and brought them to Europe. They even put them in the movie with Pocahontas 2. Pocahontas in the second movie, she over there in Europe. They got took on the damn shit. Right. Go ahead.
In the New World.
Yeah. It's
a movie called The New World.
Oh, I think I've seen it, but I haven't watched it.
They brought him over on the ship. And he was just looking at everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything that the white man had made. He was just looking at everything, and they changed him up. They got the dressing different and everything.
Even back then, assimilate.
Mm-hmm.
Turn to what's it called? A tama. I think it was what's the name? They got a tomahawk or Uncle Tomahawk. There we go, something like that. Yeah, you change it to that. Go ahead.
You said Deuteronomy 2.
Deuteronomy chapter 28.
28.
Chapter 28.
Just restart the whole chapter. Read the whole chapter. It's about
okay.
about 70 verses.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole chapter lays out all the curses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want. Deuteronomy chapter 28. You know, take an afternoon, read that whole chapter. And you'll know for surety that we the Israelites. Because you see what the curses is the same things that's on us today and back in the day. You know, go ahead.
Yeah, and that proves it's not to that fake Jew. Because he don't have none of those curses if I read.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. He ain't got none of them curses.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you want to say the Holocaust ain't nothing compared to the curses. You understand? Their children wasn't sold, their wives wasn't sold. That's what it says in the curses. And it says they were going to slavery with ships. There ain't no ships in the Holocaust. You know what I mean? That's they try to use that. The Holocaust is that they all in all, and that's their Jacob's trouble. That's their everything that makes them. No, that's nothing. Mm-hmm. The Holocaust was about 10 years long at the most. Slavery it's still going on for 100 years. And plus, if you count back with the Roman times. Mm-hmm. So that ain't nowhere near the children of Israel. Go ahead.
It was crazy. Like, I think they still get taxes or what's it called?
They get reparations.
Reparations to this day.
Mm-hmm. And this is another cut. Since this is the Hebrew class, what you want to do, this is another cut. So what we teach in the Israelite School of UPK is what's called ancient Hebrew. Okay? It's ancient Hebrew. It's the Hebrew that was spoken of before any other nations. Ancient Hebrew. When you read in certain books, it's called Aramaic. If you read up any history, books, they may call it Aramaic, which is just another way of not saying it's Hebrew. It's just another way so they don't have to say it's Hebrew. They say, oh, this is Aramaic. You know what I mean? But Aramaic just means ancient Hebrew. Now, what does the oppressor speak? He speaks Yiddish. Yiddish. Who knows what Yiddish is? Who knows the breakdown on what Yiddish is?
It sounds like, to strike at it, just like how they say Jewish, you know what I'm saying? It might be a part of, but yet not the truth.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. When you Google, all you gotta do, you got your phone, Google Yiddish. Google Yiddish. What Yiddish is I'll tell it to you, but I already know what it says on Google. It is Germanic. It's from Yiddish. What does it say? Read the definition.
All right. Yiddish, a language used by Jewish people in Central and Eastern Europe before the Holocaust. Mm-hmm. It was originally a German dialect.
A what?
German dialect.
A what?
German dialect.
Yiddish is German with a little Hebrew sprinkled in. But it's originally not Hebrew. It's not originally Hebrew. It's originally German. And that's just on that's the definition. Read any more.
A German dialect with words from Hebrew and several
with words from Hebrew. Mm-hmm. It's German with some Hebrew in it. Mm-hmm. But it ain't Hebrew. And I see if it was Hebrew with German in it, then you'll say, well, they must have added some German in it because they was in Germany. Mm-hmm. They was in Germany before they added the Hebrew. That's the point. Mm-hmm. The German part come first. That what they speaking, that old matzah, yitzah, yeshiva, yeshava, matzah balls, and what's that little party they have with the 12 years old? Bar mitzvah? That ain't Hebrew. That's not Hebrew. And there ain't no source on the planet that'll tell you that that's Hebrew. Ain't no sources out there over Google. You see what I'm saying? Google is pretty much telling you the basic definition. Read any more on that?
Yeah. In modern language, it is used today, spoken mainly in the U.S., Israel, and Russia.
And where else?
U.S., Israel, and Europe, Russia.
And Russia. Let me see if I got the book over here, Arthur Coastler, the 13th tribe. They're speaking this in Russia. Well, I thought there was the Holocaust. What happened to the Holocaust? So now the Russians too. They the Jews too now. Everybody over there in Europe's damn near Judean. If that's the case, because it started over there first, and they just added Hebrew in it. Okay. Now, this is the book called Arthur Coastler, the 13th tribe. This is from a fake Jew who came to the realization that if his people are the Jews, then that means there's 13 tribes. Because in the Bible it says it's 12.
Yeah.
So he's saying, well, we the 13th tribe because we're not those original 12. And then he goes into the breakdown and it says the startling new discovery about the true ancestry of the Jewish people. It will cause a stir. I mean, this is a good book. I mean, you can read it, but the main points that you want to know is, this is just, since this is Hebrew class, I'm gonna drop this out and then we're gonna get ready to close it out for the prayers.
Right.
So, what's the main thing you need to know about the Jewish man? All right, he speaks Yiddish, which is Germanic. Okay, Germanic. Now, the actual Jewish people, this book traces the history of the ancient Khazar Empire, a major but almost forgotten power in Eastern Europe, same place where that language came from, Eastern Europe, which in Dark Ages became converted to Judaism. Khazar was finally wiped out by the forces of Genghis Khan, but evidence indicates that the Khazars themselves migrated to Poland and formed the cradle of Western Jewry. All right, to the general reader, the Khazars, who flourished from the 7th to the 11th century, might seem infinitely remote today. Okay, yet they have close and unexpected bearing on our world. Okay, blah blah blah. So there's a few key points. So the Khazar Empire. So we break down who these people are. Khazar Empire. Now, the original, I'm gonna have to start this like this, in a timeline form. Okay, in a timeline form. You had Esau, whose name was changed to Edom. They're the Edomites. Okay, Edomites. Then they also moved over and became known as Idumea. Idumeans. This became the Idumea. Okay, so there was a time when they were that. They were in Idumea. They were the Idumeans. Okay, then a sect of these people who came from Amalek. There's a guy named Amalek. Amalek, his descendants became the Amalekites. His descendants became the Amalekites. Now, the Amalekites moved over, they migrated into another empire called the Khazar Empire. That's what he's talking about in this book. The Khazar Empire, Khazaria. Start over here. Khazaria. Now, Khazaria was a kingdom. We're gonna Google this one. Khazaria was a kingdom of multiple nations. The main leaders of the Khazarians were people who are nowadays the descendants of the Hawaiians and the Samoan people. They come from Japheth. the heads of Khazar. But in their kingdom, they had other races in their kingdom. The Amalekites came into the empire of Khazar. They were living in that empire.
Okay.
The original Khazarians, their leader, the people at the top, started to fall, and the Amalekites started to come rise in power in the empire, Khazarian empire. So it started off with the Khazarian people at the top. Amalekites moved in, and they started trying to overthrow and came up. So now a lot of the people who was in charge were Amalekites. Okay, so then, but they were originally Amalekites, but their descendants became people of the Khazar now. Now they're Khazarians.
Okay.
They started as Amalekites, but over time, being in that nation, they became Khazarians now. And this is where he starts off in his book. I'm going before this book. Go ahead.
So what's it called? Amalekites are basically Esau, the same people.
Now they're a sect of Edomites. Okay, so Esau was one man. His children, his name changed to Edom. His children are Edomites. All the people, all the oppressors, no matter where, Russia, Greece, Italy, all of them started here first as Edomites. That's when they were smaller people. All right, they became Idumeans. A piece of them came Idumeans, and they start changing names from here, from Edomites here. It's in the scriptures. Let's get the Bible. Genesis chapter 10 got all the nations. All right, it's just a quick history lesson so we can get to these people. Go to Genesis chapter 10, somebody. Genesis chapter 10. You got it in there? Yeah, just pull it out. It's got all the sons coming off the boat, off of Noah, and after Noah. All right. Let's start at Ham. All right. Sons of Shem. I have to go straight to a different verse. Because that's talking about them, what their fake name became. They have a fake name. Have you ever heard of Ashkenazi Jews?
Yeah.
Okay. If you go to chapter 10, verse 2. Read that out loud.
Genesis 10, verse 2. The sons of Japheth.
Right, stop right there. The sons of Japheth. Japheth is the father of the Hawaiians and Samoans and those island people. Go ahead.
Gomer and Magog.
Magog.
Magog and Medai.
Now go down to verse 3.
Verse 3.
So Japheth had a son, Gomer. Now, this is the sons of Gomer. Go to verse 3.
Verse 3. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz.
Spell it out.
Ashkenaz.
Ashkenaz, who is a son of Japheth. Now the Jews who come from the tribe of Judah are a son of Shem. So basically, what they're saying is they're two different races. When they say they're Ashkenazi, now you just add that. Now that's them. Now they say they're Ashkenazi Jews. This is how you know they changed their name so much that they have the name of two different nations in their name. They're Ashkenazi Jew. Ashkenaz was the son of Japheth. The Jews come from another son, Shem, right? So he can't be the son of both of them. Like me and you are alive at the same time. Somebody can't be both our sons. I got a line of descendants, you got a line. It couldn't be both. You see what I'm saying? Nobody could be both our children. But they claim both of them bloodlines. You know what I mean? So that's come from that. But so let's go back to where we was at. The Amalek is one man. Let me see if this means one man. I'll put that there. This means one man. Okay. Edom is one man. Amalek is one man. He became the father of the Amalekites. All right. That's who the Jewish people are today. They're the Amalekites. They're that sect of people. They moved into Khazar, the Khazar Empire. They later became Khazarians. All right. Now it's getting to the point. Now let's look up where Yiddish comes from. Now, look up Yiddish again. Look up Yiddish. Now, give me the year that Yiddish started. Should say 9th century.
Yiddish. It originated during the 9th century in Central Europe.
All right, stop right there. The 9th century. Okay. This is when it originated. The 9th century. Okay. Now, what does it say?
It's providing the nascent Ashkenazi community with the
The
Ashkenazi community. With a high German-based vernacular fused with many elements taken from Hebrew.
So many German elements with some Hebrew put in there. Go ahead.
To add an extent, Aramaic from varieties also have.
Wait, what does it say? Aramaic?
Yeah, Aramaic.
Taken from Hebrew, and to some extent Aramaic. Yeah, they don't know Aramaic and Hebrew are the same, but different scholars may try to change it up. But that's what they're saying. It comes some from Hebrew and then some from Aramaic, but Aramaic and Hebrew is the same. The white man in his confusion, trying to confuse the truth. He's saying it's both. Oh yeah, Aramaic is Hebrew and Hebrew is Aramaic. So then sometimes when he don't want to say it's Hebrew, he just say Aramaic. Because he don't want to make the Jewish people who speaking Yiddish offended. You don't want to offend them. So let's get more. What else does it say?
Most varieties also have substantial influences from Slavic languages, and the vocabulary contains traces of influence from Roman languages.
Yeah, a lot of that Latin come from, because the Latin goes into Slavic, and then some of the Slavic went into the German. So now that's why I'm saying they got some of that in it too. All right. Now go to Khazar, the Empire of Khazaria. Because what you're going to see is the same time that the Khazarian Empire, same time period the Khazarian Empire fell, that's the same time Yiddish started. You understand? It could be a coincidence, or it's really because it's really that's what happened. The Amalekites who went into Khazaria became Khazarians, like this author says. When Khazaria fell, they converted to Judaism. And start trying to keep Jewish customs. But that all happened at the same time. The same time the language originated, the same time they converted. Because that's, you gotta start somewhere. Especially if you're not the original people. You gotta start somewhere. Right. So go ahead, give me the Khazaria, the definition. Or Khazaria or Khazar.
Khazars. The Khazars were semi-nomadic Turkic people with a confederation of Turkic tribes.
This is confederation of Turkic tribes. A confederation means a lot of different tribes. Okay, go ahead.
Confederation of Turkic tribes that in the late 6th century CE established a major commercial empire covering the southern east section of modern Europe, Russia, southern Ukraine.
Same areas that the same Jewish people got their language from. It's Russia, Ukraine, the Eastern Europe area. Go ahead.
Crimea and Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, all of them is in Eastern Europe area.
That's it.
Okay. Go to where
Khazarian.
go to where it ended. Well, when did Khazaria end? Because I think it did say the time period, but maybe just let you read over it. That's right. Man, pull it on my phone. Maybe type in the fall of Khazaria. All right, I got it right here. When you go to the Wikipedia of Khazar, it says c circa 650 to 969.
Okay.
All right, it says for some 3 centuries. So basically this 7th, 8th, and 9th century. Okay, so Khazarians, these people were Khazarians until the empire fell. This empire was from the 7th, 8th, and 9th century. But around the 9th century is when they converted. That's what it says here. See right here, Khazar Empire. It says for some 3 centuries, 650 to 965, the Khazars dominated the vast area extended. So that's when they dominated. But as they started to fall, which is right in that time, that's why it ends at 969. When they started to fall, those white Jews said, "Well, hey, this ship's sailing or this ship's sinking. It's time to hop on another empire." Because that's what they do. They come in other empires and they take the resources from the empire. Because I don't know if you know much about them. What they're taught, they teach that they're not part of. Let's say there's a group of them in America. They teach. They have their own schools. They teach that they're not Americans. They're not part of America. So if they want to, they do a lot of like tax stealing, like stealing the taxes from their kingdom. To them, it's not wrong because they're not a part of that kingdom. So we can take the taxes from their kingdom. We're not a part of this kingdom. So that's what they do. They come in the kingdom. That's why Hitler wanted to try to kill them and say they was a problem with all their country. Because they come in and they take resources, and you know the sayings of how greedy they are and how stingy they are. They'll take it, then they'll hold on to all the wealth. Everybody else sitting out there starving, and instead of going out and buying and spending, they hold it, sit back with all the money. Oh, you want to borrow some money? Here's $100, but you got to pay me back $500. You know, they do stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's where you get a lot of Jewish gangsters and stuff like that. They say you borrow money, you gambling. You know what I mean? All this and that. Then they send somebody after you to break your legs and stuff. The Jewish mob was just big was big or bigger than most of the other mobs, the Jewish mob. You understand? So that's how they rolled. That's why Hitler went after them in his country, because they were taking a lot of money from the economy of Germany and keeping it for themselves. That's what they do. They take the money and they keep it for themselves. So after they did that enough in Khazaria, that's why when you read it, they said it was an economic empire. It was an empire about trade and economy. After they did that enough, when Khazar started falling, they all right. Well, we need a new host to parasite off of, and that's where they came with being us. That's when that fell, went right into we're the Jews now. We're children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We one of them too. You know what I mean? And they start becoming Jewish. That way, and there's another book, I think it talks about in this book, where it said they decided to be that because during that time you could be with the Christians or you could be with the Muslims. So they said, well, we'll be the Jewish people. They get respect by both sides. Because you had the Christians in Europe, the Crusades, you had the Muslims fighting for the Holy Land and all that. All that was going around this time too. You see the movies with the Crusaders and all that. So they said, well, we ain't being no Christians because we got to fight, and we ain't going to be no Muslims because then we got to fight. So we'll be the Jews. So we get respect by both sides, and we don't have to fight. And we can just do business and do what we want to do, be under the radar. So that's where you get them. That's where you have them. Now they've been keeping that mantra or that cloak. They've been wearing that outfit since 9th century. So about 1,000 years, they've been wearing that, acting like they us. What's going to happen is we're going to start busting them out more and more. Our streets we're going to do more teaching, and then eventually they ain't going to be wearing that as much. They'll figure out something else to put on, and then until Christ return, we put them in chains where they belong. Otherwise, they'll get a new host, become a new identity, and squeeze in somewhere else.
They was just saying that I don't got his name, but I saw it on YouTube. This so-called Messiah then showed up in Israel, and he's under that cloak of the Yiddish and the Jewish, you know what I mean? And they were saying that he was in a place of where the rabbis or whatever, a high place where the rabbis play and pray, and all of these high-ranked people was coming by and kissing his hand and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Saying that he performed a couple of miracles and things like that. I gave it to my son. He kind of ran with it. You know what I'm saying?
It's recent.
Yeah, this is recent.
Another ploy, another little gimmick. That's all.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick. They take you over there right now and tell you, look, this is where Christ baptized himself right here. This is where Mother Mary Joseph used to lay her head right here. Hey, Mary ain't never been there. It's just a little spot, and they'll bring you there and say, hey, this is where Jesus was at. They fed the apostles.
I was like, this is a what, man?
Yeah, they doing that right now. They don't know where Jesus fed the apostles. They just say this is the spot for that. And then they make up another spot and say, oh, this is the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus was praying. This is a random place. There be three of them saying this is over here in this same spot. And you paying all this money. So that's what type of people they are. They are like money. They don't care about trying to be honest to you because you're a goy. You're a Gentile. You're not them. So they can lie to you in their culture. In their culture, they can lie to people who are not Jewish. Oh yeah, they can lie to them. Wow. They're the goy. They're Gentiles. You know what I mean? I watched it on American Greed a while back. They were doing these. They busted these Jewish community or these tax fraud scams where let's say one Jewish guy has a daycare, the other Jewish guy has a construction business or whatever. The construction business guy will write down to be in cahoots with the other $30,000 to the daycare. He really wasn't donating nothing, but he would put in the taxes. He got $30,000. When the tax money off the credit, they both split $15,000 apiece. Wow. And they were doing it throughout the whole for years and years. Just racking up. They barely even working. They just doing tax scams. All the whole Jewish community just doing tax scams all year. You think they, shrewd businessman and they, doing this, doing that. Man, they cooking every book that could be cooked. Everything that costs $1, they put it costs $100. And then they throw it into the taxes, and then they get all this money back from taxes. You think black people is getting over on taxes? Yeah, we ain't getting over like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if they get audited, they got a lawyer. We're gonna come and step in and say, nah, this is all legit.
Right.
You get audited, you're gonna be over 5,000, something like that. And, you know, you getting over on little money. They $100,000, $200,000 worth of tax scams every year. So, and when the guy was breaking it down, that's what he was saying. He was saying in Jewish community, we're taught that we can't get taken advantage of by no nation. We don't want to be what happened in Germany that happened to us, which is just another ploy lie, you know, that they can use. That so we don't want nothing to happen like that. So we gotta stay separate from these other kingdoms, and we can't put into their system. We can't put into their money, into their taxes. You know. So so this is just a quick breakdown on who they are, tracing them. You know what I mean? Trying to trace them down to who they are, because they change and they change it all the time. A lot of people today, but they change their names. You know, there's a couple actors I remember brother was telling me that were Jewish actors, but they changed their names from like Rosenbaum and Rolls and all that to just regular names. So they can easily not, so they won't be known that they're Jewish. You see what I'm saying? So there's something they do all the time. And now you think you talking to some John. He said his last name John. But yeah, that's Arthur Coastler. If y'all want to check that book out, get it off of Amazon. It's on the Israelite School UPK website as one of the books to read, like in our study list. You know, it's one of the study books that UPK approves to read. And we're not saying everything in there is fact like the Bible, but you know, what's in there supports what we've been saying and what the Bible says.
What's that title again?
Yeah. It's just the 13th tribe.
13th tribe.
And it's by a dude named Arthur Coastler. 13th tribe. If you go to ishbk.com, it says on our study list, that's one of the books. There's about 50 books that are UPK approved for study. You know what I mean? Obviously, don't believe everything in there. You gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
But the books that we not promote, but that we advise are good reads. Are good reads that you can study and learn good things from. But obviously, the Bible is the ultimate source. As long as you can bring things to class, if it contradicts the Bible, bring it to class, and we'll give you the right answer. If you read something in the books that we say. IHBK security announcements. We are the IHBK, starting out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. So sisters coming in, say shalom, give them the salute, and that's pretty much it. You see what I'm saying? You let them sisters have a chance to shed themselves of the world. You know what I mean? Don't be all over them and this and that, trying to have secret Bible studies, late nights, all that. We don't do that at UPK. You see what I'm saying? Sister come in, give a salute, and that's it. And then until she do her 6 months, then you talk to the camp leader. Like, look, I'm interested in that sister. I like to court her. Then you get permission. Then you get permission to talk to her. Y'all can talk, get to know each other, have dates, non-sexual dates. You understand? And then after a 6-month period, you can get permission from the head to marry her, which is the sex. Sex is married in Israelite culture. You see what I'm saying? But I guarantee you that marriage right there is a marriage built to last. You see what I'm saying? Because she has shed herself of the world. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 through 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashera, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is Passover, April 24th, Houston, Texas. If you want more information for the Passover, you go to ishubk.com or contact your camp leader, which would be me. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf. With that said, I majim, which means stand. Wapanya hakwadam, which means rise and face the east, face that way. You're gonna have your hands up like this. Like this. We'll do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakutka. Daba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathanawa. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Wasalak Nawa. Kabawathi Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kawabwathi Nawa. Wala'a. Tabiyai Nawa. Panasaya 1. Abo. Hawashai Nawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wa'ala. Wa'athapara. La'ilamium. Aman. In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Prayer for Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Babu Kashah. Nathanawa. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Kamakala. Wakamarawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahagwim. Hamathium. Hakak. Awakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashem Yahushua. The water Aman. What we said in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Mataz Aviyah. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapio. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kotazayanyam. Ha Kayayoyam. Wa Hakwafian. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. The water Aman. What we said in English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael.
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
Commander General Yohana,
Commander General High,
the generals,
the generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
The anointing prayer in the Hebrew. Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Wa Shamaraka.
Shamaraka,
Yahar Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Panyawa.
Yahweh,
Alika.
Alika,
Wayakanka.
Wayakanka,
Yasha'a.
Yashah,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Panyawa.
Aya,
Alika.
Alika,
Wayashamlaka.
Wayashamlika,
Shalom.
Shalom,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Vashem Yahushua,
Barak.
Barak,
Rapah.
Rapah,
Magun.
Magun,
Hagun.
Hagun,
The Thurman family.
the Thurman family,
The Sutton family.
the Sutton family,
The Hill family.
the Hill
The
family,
Shimmy family.
the Shimmy family,
And all the children of Israel.
and all the children of Israel.
Now, do you brothers have any people in the world that you would like to pray for? You can say their names now. Start with the older brother first.
My brother, Jordan.
Oh,
No, let him go first.
it's my brother. Yeah, I say my brother Junior.
Brother Junior.
Brother Junior.
Do I say something else?
Just say done if you done.
Done.
Good.
Oh, my brother Jordan. I just say anything I want to say.
Say any people in the world you want to pray for.
Jordan.
George.
Jordan.
Joshua.
Joshua.
That's it.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Throughout our month.
Throughout our month.
What we said in the English was Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bless thee and keep thee.
Bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Make his face shine upon thee.
Make his face shine upon thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
Be gracious unto thee.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Lift up his countenance upon thee.
Lift up his countenance upon thee.
And give thee peace.
And give thee peace.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of
Yahushua.
Bless.
bless,
Heal.
heal,
Shield.
shield,
Protect.
protect.
Names of levels we just named. Prayer for the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed unto you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
Punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against
that
us,
speak against us,
thy prophets,
thy prophets,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the schools.
Send evils and curses,
Send evil and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen.
and shake loose the treasure
Shake loose the treasure
of the rich of Israel
of the rich of Israel
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches
Force their riches
to enter into thy sanctuary.
to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the Edomites
to the Edomites
and the nations
and the nation
and their drug dealers,
and the drug dealers,
the court system,
the court system,
the prison system,
the prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Posse Komatasi,
Parsi Kamatasi,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
the lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space programs,
NASA space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet
and the airways,
and the airways,
the cable access channels
cable access channels,
and the radio channels.
and the radio channels.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop us
that seeks to stop us
and bring swift destruction
and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
to all the heathen
that stand in the way
that stand in the way
or try to stop us
to try to stop us
from broadcasting your words
for broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues,
Let loose all the plagues,
cause them to go
cause them to go
to and fro
to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plague
shake the house of the thief
shake the house of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahushua,
The house of Shah,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathen
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause to be known by all
Cause to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that it is the angels that have done it.
Cause to be spread through the media
Cause to be spread through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you always.
thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means turn and face me.
So
We're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Just follow after me and do what I do. Men of Israel, Amam Shabbat. Amaju. Barak. Say Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushua. Barak. Atah. Now salute back. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barak Atam. No, y'all saluted me. I salute you back. Yazmatah. Sar. Don't say it after me, but say certain things. Sar. We're going to face the sisters online and salute the sisters. Men of Israel. Amam Shabbat. Amaju. Barak. Say, repeat after me. Shalom. Yahweh. Shamar. Alatah. Ba'ashem. Yahushua. What we said was, may the Lord watch over you sisters watching online. Yazmatah. Class dismissed.
Shalom.